Hello there everybody and welcome back to more Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1. In this part, well, we're just going to be getting a bunch of more gems, if you will. It's going to be a bit of a shorter part though, because, well, I've caught up. I've caught up with all my recording footage, so I've got to record more Crash Bandicoot after this, essentially, and that should be the very last one. So it looks like there's going to be probably about 4 recording sessions for this. And then that's literally it, or so. You know, I just realized as well, I have like the Xbox version of Crash Twin Sanity now, because, man, I've had that for a while now, actually. In fact, I'm pretty sure my partner got me it also. Yeah, I should probably try that out, because, see, I'm more familiar with the PS2 version of Crash Twin Sanity, but the Xbox version apparently is a bit more fixed, in some places. There are some areas where the PS2 version is more superior, but from what I've heard, most people say, I believe, to go for the Xbox version. But the strange thing is, like, when you try to play it on the Xbox 360, it's not the most accurate as such, because some Xbox titles, when you play them on an Xbox 360, aren't quite one-on-one. Somewhat similar to how some discs are read, as far as I'm aware, if you pop a GameCube disc in a Wii. Like, most of the time it does work, but it's not as efficient, you know, for reading them quicker. They're more prone to say, like, oh, sorry, this disc can't be read, or so. Kind of similar to... Oh, yeah, I actually had a moment of this one time, actually, with Oddworld Abe's Exodus, I believe, yeah. So, I think it was sometime in 2019. I was streaming Oddworld Abe's Exodus, and at the time, I was playing it on the PlayStation 2. I don't know why I wasn't playing it on the PS1, but yeah, I was playing it on the PS2. That one has like an actual DVD drive, doesn't it? And when it told me to swap the discs, because when I finished disc 1, it told me immediately, you need to pop in disc 2 to play more of the game, because that's what games were like back then. When I'd done that, it didn't work. So it did mean that I had to turn off the game and get back to where I was, but this time I tried it on the actual PS1 console itself, where it, you know, had the tray, the disc tray that just like pops open with a button. It's not like a electronic or anything. And yeah, it worked. So sometimes, but like when you're using original discs, it's better if you play them on the original thing, because then it reads it the most accurate. You know, that's kind of what it was designed for. I did have a weird encounter though once, where I got KO the Kangaroo for the Dreamcast, and for whatever reason it just didn't run. It got to the advertisements for the people who made the game, and then that's it, it just kept me back to the menu. Apparently that's a game that's a little bit picky to work with certain Dreamcast consoles. It's honestly a bit of a mystery. Needless to say, the game for that got sent back ages ago. But it was a little bit strange. I was just like, what? What the heck? The disc itself was fine. There was like nothing wrong with it. You know, no scratches, nothing too major that's going to stop it reading. But yeah, that is most bizarre. I also learned a thing as well. With discs, this is the case with CDs, DVDs, and all sorts, right? So it's actually possible that when things get scratched, you can restore them using, I think it's called isopropyl alcohol or so, with like a mixture of stuff, and it can get rid of things, but it depends how badly damaged it is. Like, there's an actual layer of the disc where if it gets past that, it is basically unrepairable. So you kind of sort of need to inspect that of your disc and see how deep the gash or the mark is, and then if you can get rid of it, well, that's pretty good. I mean, oftentimes I just try to see if I can get rid of it, and hopefully it works, and if it doesn't, it's like, well, bugger it. That's all I can do, really, you know? Something that me and my partner have figured out over time. Because there's a lot of PS1 discs, I'll tell you, that where I played them a lot in my childhood, they are majorly scratched. Like, the first one that comes to my head is Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. It still works, but there are parts where it does weird skips and stuff. I'm pretty sure, actually, that happened when I did my old retrospective. Yeah, bloody hell, the Cowham 64 retrospective in 2017. Oh man, that's because I was like really happy to be doing YouTube for 5 years. Now I'm pushing for on like about 12, 13, I don't... How many bloody years is it now? I've lost count. been going on for far too bloody long, but yeah. That was a thing though with Toy Story 2. Yeah, because during it, I was just like, oh, there might be times we hear the game skipping, and it's because my bloody disc is scratched. Absolutely scratched. It's unfortunately a bad case though, with Sheepdog and Wolf for the PS1. Sorry, for the PS1. My throat cut out there, that was weird. Because, well, that one's just too damaged. It's kind of weird though, because most of the game does work, like it does load, but when it gets to like one of the later levels, it just freezes and it cannot load. So it's just like, oh man, that really sucks. Oh, this is one of the more tricky bloody stages whenever you're trying to get all the boxes, because you need the red gem here, right? And as you saw earlier, when I hit that and stuff, you need to be quite precise with what you're doing here. If you fuck up once, restart the whole bloody thing. And this isn't even like the worst side of it. It is kind of a bit strange though, how like there's an exclamation box up there. When I first streamed this in 2020, I could not tell that was an exclamation mark box. So I had no bloody clue what to do at this point. Until eventually then when I did know the solution, it was like, well, great, I'm never going to forget that now, am I? So yeah, I got invincibility here for no apparent reason. Like, I can't really do a lot with it. All I can do is just wait. That's something, innit? But yeah, I remember this one took me a while. If you take the red gem there, it takes you back over to there, I suppose, if you just accidentally go towards the end. But yeah, really, you need to be on your toes. A lot of the times for this one, like, the reward is pretty cool. Because when you get a gem, but, you know, some people might argue it's a bit sort of like, how are you supposed to know that? I'll kind of explain it as I go for like how my mind works whenever I'm playing through levels like this. Eventually when we catch up to it, I don't know how far away we are actually from the very end. Oh no, actually not. Not that close at all, because there's like checkpoints and all sorts, isn't there? Bloody hell. Did I use the tortoise here? Once again, it's been a while since I've seen this footage. So I just wing it these days. I think it's just easier, you know? Plus, like I said before, I got a lot to say. Okay, yeah, here's the part right here. So, this red gem, yeah? You have to hop on this one, go over the goal, and then you're like, well, where the fuck do I go now? What? So check this out. Yeah, you got like these bloody invisible plank of woods. And it is a bit tricky trying to know if there's like, if you're at the very edge and if there's one of them that's going to appear. That's why I was slightly edging myself towards the end. And yeah, you do all that for 2 boxes. Just 2. Those 2 bloody things are what's keeping you away from getting the gem. So as you see right there, just like one of them forms back. There's like 2 planks on each, as far as I remember. So as long as you keep that into consideration, you should be good. Should be. It might be trial and error, because I'm pretty sure on my stream and that, it was very bloody frustrating. Not like rage quitting or anything, but just sort of like, oh, come on, man, what the fuck? That sort of vibe, if you will. All right. And that is 19 gems, putting this up to 85? No, 84. I keep forgetting it changes it before. There's me thinking it does it as soon as you save, but that's not the case at all, is it? Oh, man. Something else I'm going to have to try is, I'm going to try an attempt to record this on like the Elgato software, because usually I use OBS, as it never fails. But I have a strong feeling that maybe the Elgato software is a bit more optimized now, because for whatever reason, that went through a weird phase. Like, I used to use that all the time, like back in about 2014, all those years after that. And then it just hit a point where I was just like, what the heck? It's not doing the thing that it did anymore. Maybe it was incompatible or something. But it might have something to do with where I was storing the recordings, because for whatever reason I didn't just store it on the solid state drive, you know, on the main Windows drive itself. No, I did it to my bloody external hard drive, or at least it is internal, but it's like an extra one, if you will, you know? And that has slower read speeds, because that's a hard disk drive, not a solid state. So it kind of makes more sense if I'm doing the recording to a solid state. I think that is probably the main reason why, but the point is I'm going to experiment. Because it might make it a bit easier, then I don't have to worry about OBS and booting it up and setting up a scene and all that jazz. Because it would be a lot more bloody convenient just to go to, you know, the 4K capture utility is what it's called. and then just click record and boom, done. That's it. I don't have to worry about, you know, the bit rate, frame rate and all that jazz. It just does it all for me. It would just be a bit more easier or so, because I mean, I don't even like use a microphone or other bits. I'm just capturing raw gameplay, if you will. And then that's all there is to it, really. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes over time, I suppose. Ah, check that out as a poet and I didn't even know it. Sweet. Also, fuck, wow, it's the 17th of November today. Good lord. I'm still in the middle of, like, playing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I just clipped through the rock. What the fuck? That is weird. When that thing hits you before, it gives you a hit. But yeah, if you get the, I don't know if that was pink or purple. It was a colored gem of some sort. Yeah, it gives you access to this area. I really like the lighting in this area. Like, it's all bright and stuff up above. But when you go down here, it's like a glowy cave. You know, I kind of think of it reminds me of, Jak and Daxter. Yeah. You know that section in Jak and Daxter when you're in a spider cave? Yeah, that particular part where you whack the crystals and they glow with that green luminous feel. Yeah, it gives me strong vibes of that. I mean, yeah, actually that makes sense. Because, I mean, Jak and Daxter was made by Naughty Dog, so, you know. Also there's like Cortex and Embryo there. And, yeah. That's another perfect for this one, so that marks it up to 85%. And, well, that's where the episode's going to end, really, because I've caught up. I need to play more of the game and narrate over that. So I guess once this is saved and stuff, I will see you in the next part of Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. So take care and see you then.